show, because Joe showed how to use the Smart Notebook software to do some recording. I'm going to just give you an alternative type of program that also works. Learn Jerry and I, when we've been co-teaching, have been using the program called EduCreations through the iPad, and it's been very helpful for us to use this to kind of do something similar. Now, we're working with 9th grade special ed. We're not getting a lot of kids to go on their own to necessarily do this type of work. So our focus on it has been more maybe on the supplemental side, as opposed to trying to use it to completely do a flip. But it does have the abilities to go into that type of idea as well. What I wanted to show you though, and here's the really cool thing about this, the EduCreations app is completely free. It only works on iPads though, there's that only disadvantage. So the videos that we create can be viewed on any iPad as long as the app is downloaded on it. But it also works well that they can be viewed on any PC as long as you can run Flash on it. So people have been able to do this stuff at home. So we have had some students who have taken advantage of this. And what I want to show you first is just what the EduCreations website itself looks like. So if you do need to write down EduCreations, it's in the corner there. This is a really neat site because basically anything I create on the app, if you create a free account on there, automatically gets uploaded to their site so that I can link it on my own website, tweet the links out, however I want to share it with kids so they can find it, and if they really wanted to, they can also find my profile on here because students can actually sign up on this site as well. And they can find every single video that I've created or every video that Lori's created at any point. So there's a lot of really cool resources that are available on here. But the neat thing that's about this is when you do create a video through EduCreations, you have the option of making your work either public or private. A lot of people make their stuff public. So one of the things that's neat about this, and because someone had asked about this in the previous session, is do you have to completely go through and create your own stuff? Well, not necessarily. You can go through and search a bunch of different topics on here, so if anyone wanted to find something under social studies, you can actually look and find a whole bunch of different videos. And you'll notice that some of them have some rather nice images because, as I'll show you in a second, EduCreations allows you to either take photos, import images, do anything you want to do, and then you can write all over them if you need to. So there's some nice advantages to this setup. Obviously there's a whole bunch of different options for math stuff as well, depending on what you're looking for. And you can search by topic as well. So the site's pretty comprehensive, so it's kind of neat because you don't necessarily have to reinvent the wheel. You might find some resources just looking on here that are really helpful. But just to kind of give you an idea of what the app itself looks like, it's pretty basic. It's just a plain old whiteboard. There's nothing too fancy on it. But the nice thing about it is that you can go through, and my recommendation is if you ever want to try this out, you can play around and just use your finger to write on it, but it's kind of sloppy. So I went and bought myself really cheap iPad stylus so I can, write and make it legible. But really that's what it is. You can select different colors up here and they actually have other options besides just these if you wanted to. And you can go through and write whatever you want on here, import images, label whatever you want on here. And the nice thing too is that you can set up a whole bunch of different stuff and it works with different slides. So I imported a quick picture from something that I snapped a while ago because I put together a video on some of the stuff we were doing in algebra earlier this year. You can import whatever you want, set up all the slides however you want it before you even start to record anything you're doing, so you can have all this stuff set to go, and then basically go through and just record whatever it is that you want to show them. And just like with what Joe showed, when I hit the record button, it will record my voice right through it. You don't even need a microphone because the iPad will pick up your voice just sitting there, and anything I write. So it'll record all of that, and then I can pause it if I want to add something else to it that I might have thought about. I can then restart recording, and then finally finish this, and then it'll save the video and put it online for me. The other couple things that are really neat, especially for anyone who, especially for my math colleagues, you can actually put a graph paper, recorded grid paper right on this too, so it's really a little bit easier to do some graphing stuff on here. Oh, isn't it just great? But you can also do line paper too, because you'll also notice that there's a lot of videos that are very good, appropriate for younger ages too, so they gave some different options. The other nice thing about it, this app has constantly been updated. They've done a lot of nice things. When we first started working with it, there was no erase button. It was hilarious. And if you made one mistake, you had to completely scrap the whole video and start over again. It's not like that anymore, so it's a lot more user-friendly to use. So this is a good time to start looking into it. But it's been really helpful because we've been able to just, start some basic videos on some different topics, like right now, we're doing operations with radicals, so that's like a supplemental thing. Some of the videos might be as long as 10 minutes, depending on how many examples I did. I think the last two I did were around 5 or 6 minutes each. But it's enough where I can put it online. You can share the videos directly off of this too, so if anyone uses Twitter in class or Facebook pages, you can actually do it directly through this. The other thing I do is Lori and I have been working and keeping up a website and blog all year, so when we go through, we make different pages for each unit so that we link the videos and keep all the resources for each lesson together so our students can go on and check their answers on homework so they can come in and telling us which ones they couldn't do, which they've been getting a lot better with this year, which has been really helpful. And then we're now trying to evolve them to actually sitting through the 5 to 10 minute videos at home as well to kind of reemphasize if they're not doing so well with something more as a supplemental tool. So this is just another option. It's a really neat thing to play around with too, especially if you have an iPad, either your personal or school one, and you just want to kind of see how it works. I would highly recommend this one because it's just so easy to use, and it's a nice option to go through if you're looking for something where you can just put either supplemental material up, or if you kind of want to experiment and maybe eventually go into more of a flipped classroom mode like what Joe's been doing with his groups. So it's just another option that's out there. And there's a lot of other things that are out there too. I'm just speaking to this one because I've been working with this now for a year and a half, I would say. We've been doing some different stuff on it.
Can you only use an iPad for it, or can you use a tablet?
Unfortunately, right now, they only have an app for iPads.
Okay.
They say that they are considering going Android route at some point, but they haven't done it yet.
I was thinking for any computer, they had the separate writing tablets, the Wacom tablets.
That might work, and here's why. You can actually create, and this is, I forgot to mention this in the last group, you can create videos for educations through their website.
Okay, so you could.
So you could probably do it that way as well.
Yeah, because that has styluses and you can write on it.
Yes, so that would probably work, yeah. So you can go directly on their site. Now, obviously, if you don't have a tablet like that, it might be a little bit harder to do it, but if you're just looking for, maybe to do something where you can actually just put the text on there, maybe upload images to show different things, maybe just marking things on images, you could probably make the video on a PC without too much of an issue. Obviously, if you plan on doing a lot more writing, the iPad would probably be a lot easier, or at least having a tablet set up like that would be a lot
We
easier.
all need iPads.
See?
So,
Get on that, Jane.
people who have requested iPads to do something like this, I have been able to work on getting them. So that is part of my job. But
I also
I
know-
can't get you an iPad because you want an iPad. I can get you an iPad because I don't have a pot of money I spend. I have to take my purchase orders to district office. Eric and the math department wanted to do this. I was able to make the argument based on a bunch of teachers wanting to integrate technology for flipped classroom and get them. So if there's a proposal, tie it into the strategic plan, which is to use technology to enhance instruction, I can probably get them.
I could also tell you that we've had a couple people in our department who have been awarded them through Greece Education
That's
Foundation
another
grants
answer.
as well. So, and if you do want to try something like this and you don't have your own, you can always try writing a grant to explain what you want.
And assume you will need 3, assuming you, on average, that's what I've been hearing people say, is they need at least 3. The minis are $300, which means a Greece Education Foundation grant would cover 3+ cases.
And the reason why I say that is because you can actually, if you have the app installed on it, you can have the kids go and watch the videos on the iPad. They can plug their headsets right in.
How do you hook it up to the computer? Is
Right
it-
now,
is
It's a
it
$20
just a-
adapter.
yeah, it's his adapter, actually, I don't even have this
Oh,
one. I had to ask Jason
It's
for it.
like a mini DVR.
Yeah, but you don't need to do it on here. We actually shown our videos in class sometimes when we know they're not necessarily checking them out. And that's why you can just go right through the website and pull them up.
Oh, so you don't have to have them
No.
on there to pull them up?
No.
Okay.
What's nice is the videos will play on the iPad though, so if I have one student who I think needs to look at it, I can pull it up on my iPad and say, here, plug your headset in this,
Go sit there.
and go sit in the corner and watch this, and really. And I've done that with students before, and sometimes the helpful thing is, if I know it's a student who just needs to see the 5-minute video, and they'll probably understand the entire lesson and they were sick the one day, that sometimes is all I need.
So you don't do a full classroom?
Not completely, because you're not gonna get 9th graders to go home and watch
Right,
this. But we're trying to at least get them to be a little bit more proactive about supplementing it, at least knowing that there's options for when they're not here, so that they can kind of catch up on it. And we have had some who have been responsible enough to come in and say, oh yeah, I watched it, I think I know what I'm, great. And so it's nice when you hear that, because then, you know, the time I'm putting into it, which isn't a lot, but it's still then, it feels like it's a bit more rewarding when you know they're getting something out of it. Yeah.
On your iPad's hooked up. It's my mom.
Of course.
But,
She's got problems.
Okay, I'll talk to you later.
Hi, Lorraine.
Love you.
if that's hooked up to the smart board, if you write in the smart board, it's gonna show up on your iPad, so you can record from the smart board then?
I don't
The stylus?
think that it's gonna work, because it doesn't have the software installed, this is just display
Oh,
purposes.
okay, I was just wondering.
Yeah, I just wanted to make sure you guys could see what this looked like, because
Okay.
this, the app itself is only available
Cause
for
that'd be
this.
really cool, cause then you can just.
Oh, yeah.
sneak
Well, and to tell you the truth,
Smartboard
and I don't
has
know if it'll
apps.
work, because I'm sure it's because the drivers wouldn't be there, the Smart Notebook software is available as an app on the iPads,
Mhm.
and it'll let you do a lot of different stuff, but I still don't know how well it would communicate with this, because all this is just the display hooked in, there's nothing else hooked in it actually.
Okay.
Yeah. Any other questions?
Stop.